Hitman is one of the longest running series when it comes to modern stealth games. Where most IPs of that ilk have slowly faded into obscurity, the developer has continued to hone in on its excellent design philosophy with the new series reboot. And this brings us to the Hitman World of Assassination Trilogy, which is easily the best rendition of Hitman that features sprawling maps filled to the brim with opportunities for tasteful executions and wacky assassinations. Now that the recently released Freelancer Mode has added even more reasons to replay and master the various maps in the trilogy, we felt that it's time to stack those levels up against one another and decide 15 of the best levels in the modern Hitman trilogy. Showstopper, Hitman 2016. This was the first ever modern Hitman level to be released, and the fact that it's found its place on this list speaks volumes about its tight design. Taking place in a fashion show in Paris, this level serves as a perfect beginner puzzle to those well versed with the basics of Hitman. You need to get access to a restricted area to kill one target, and you need to separate a roaming target from his personal bodyguard to dispatch him without arousing any suspicion. There are plenty of ways to do that. You can swap places with a model to get an easy ticket to the upper floors, or maybe disguise yourself as one of the security guards in the fashion show. You can also make the assassination look like an accident by dropping a chandelier on top of your target while he's walking down the ramp. Or you can just let go of all that and try a suit-only run once you've got your bearings. World of Tomorrow, Hitman 2016. Set against the coastal town of Sapienza, the mission tasks players with disposing of 2 targets and eliminating a biohazard threat by infiltrating into a secret lab compound underground. It's easily one of the biggest levels in Hitman 2016, and features a sprawling town where you can get into multiple shops and back alleys, or clamber up rooftops to get to some great vantage points. The mansion housing the 2 targets is densely packed with guards, but you get plenty of options to sneak around in different disguises and lure the targets to their demise. You can lure a target away from the mansion for an easy kill, or snipe them out from the top of a bell tower. Or even replace a regular golf ball with an explosive one, which results in one of the goofiest assassinations of the game. What makes Sapienza such a great place to revisit time and time again is the fact that this gargantuan space is properly utilized with plenty of options for going about your assassination, which is a far cry from some other levels that fail to deliver the promise of a dense sandbox. Nightcall, Hitman 2. This level serves as the opening mission in Hitman 2. While it can be viewed as a tutorial mission to help you get your bearings, this level can be really fun to mess around with. There are plenty of varied ways to take down your targets, as Agent 47 has to eliminate Alma Reynard, who is a spy working for the militia. It's also a really beautiful level that sets the perfect stage for missions to follow, and it's one that is worth replaying over and over again just to get to see all the possibilities of taking down your target in the best and most silent ways possible. Death in the Family, Hitman 3. This level in Hitman 3 takes you to this gargantuan mansion of mysteries that is the Thornbridge Manor, where another detective has been hired to uncover the truth behind a death in the family. The manor itself is pretty large with multiple floors and hidden rooms, and this central space is surrounded by other points of interest like a garden and a graveyard. Naturally, there are plenty of ways to go about your business at this level, but there's perhaps no better way to experience this mystery than disguising yourself as the detective. This in turn allows you to conduct an entire investigation on the murder, and how easy completing your secondary objective of obtaining the case is dictated by the outcome of that investigation. It's one of the few levels in Hitman 3 that makes good use of the camera tool in your arsenal, so be sure to look out for any opportunities for unlocking doors or collecting clues while you're exploring the many depths of this mansion. End of an Era, Hitman 3. Set against the backdrop of the rain-drenched city of Chongqing in China, this level features a large map that houses 2 distinct sections, one being the dingy streets lined with neon lights and restaurants, and the other being a secret underground facility. The 2 targets are spread out throughout the map, so you will need to get creative with your ways to gain access to the secret underground lab and other restricted areas. But if you don't want to do all that, the hard work, you could snoop around the environment and find ways to lure both targets out in the open and dispatch them with a single shot of a sniper rifle. Three-Headed Serpent, Colombia, Hitman 2. The Three-Headed Serpent is arguably one of the best missions in Hitman 2. This level feels equal parts a sandbox of opportunities and a backdrop for an espionage scene and a thriller. You need to take out 3 of the targets for completing the mission. The level is home to some dangerous districts, and messing with the enemies here is sure to cause a big commotion that will give you just the window to take out your targets without anyone laying an eye on you. But if you take time to explore the rather large open levels and restricted areas, you will eventually open up even more opportunities and creative methods to dispatch the targets as you increase your mastery rank in this level. Another Life, Hitman 2. Another Life in Hitman 2 feels like an extension of a new life from Hitman Blood Money, and we mean that comparison in the best way possible. Taking place in a quiet suburban neighborhood, the mission tasks you to eliminate 2 targets, all while a birthday party is going on in full swing. IO Interactive does a fantastic job of crafting tons of varied scenarios for assassination in this rather mundane-looking setting, which is what makes this level so endearing in the first place. You could impersonate a housebroker, a clown for the birthday party, or even one of the security guards around the neighborhood, and each of these disguises will help you in following some amazing mission stories. Golden Handshake, Hitman 2. This DLC level is also a unique level in and of itself because it doesn't require killing any targets. The objective requires you to break into the vault of the bank and retrieve some important records before the bank erases them permanently. So while you can dispose of some important figures in the bank and get to your objective relatively easily, there are a couple of ways to achieve your goals without killing so many people. While Golden Handshake isn't as big as some of the other levels on this list, it's definitely dense with all sorts of opportunities to get your objective. You could impersonate an interview candidate, follow around an investigating journalist to see what she unearths, or even carefully chart your way through distractions alone if you want to complete the suit-only challenge. It's one of the most fitting locations for a Hitman level, and it's rather strange that IO Interactive took so many games to make a proper Hitman heist level. Chasing a Ghost, Hitman 2. This level in Hitman 2 is set against one of the most populated cities in the world, and it serves as a great showcase for the sheer amount of crowds that IO Interactive is able to fit within a place. While you do know the location of 2 or 3 targets at the start of the level, you need to do a little digging to find the identity of the third target, codenamed Maelstrom. The location itself is dense with small shops and streets, which can lead you to some interesting opportunities and vantage points. One of the best assassination opportunities here involves helping out another assassin in the slums to shoot down your target. But there are several other ways to go about achieving the same feat, which can be discovered by following the mission stories. The Finish Line, Hitman 2. Hitman 2's The Finish Line is inarguably one of the best missions of the game, and with good reason. The simple idea of Agent 47 infiltrating a car race is as goofy as it is exciting, and IO Interactive does it justice by casting a wide net of ideas for unique assassination opportunities within this space. One of your targets will be participating in a race, so you could disguise yourself as a pit stop worker and loosen the tires on the vehicle mid-race to cause an accident. Or you could spike the fireworks on the stage to cause another explosion just as your target celebrates her victory. But doing that requires you messing with other racers in the first place as well. As for Robert Knox, who mostly remains holed up in his office, you could mess around with his lab equipment to cause him to die by an android's hand, or you could poison his eye drops to lure him to the bathroom and then dispatch him with relative ease. It's chock full of such tasteful opportunities, and if you time things right, you could even take out 2 birds with a single stone, and that too without anyone noticing that you were there in the first place. SITUS INVERSUS, Hitman 2016. SITUS INVERSUS marks the end of the first chapter of Hitman World of Assassination, and IO Interactive made sure to end it on a stylish note. For this level, Agent 47 is sent to a high-tech hospital facility hidden deep within the snowy valleys of Hokkaido. The primary target is Eric Sodders, an ICA mole who happens to be suffering from a heart disease, and our secondary target is a yoga teacher. The facility itself isn't too large when compared to the other areas you visited before, but you also have the option to go outside and find yourself some great vantage points for taking out targets from a distance. But coming back to the opportunities here, you can override an operation machine by disguising yourself as the chief surgeon to kill off a target without laying so much as a hand on him. Apart from this, you could disguise yourself as a chef and serve poisonous fish to dispatch the other target without much hassle. But if donning disguises isn't your style, you could always roleplay as a ninja with the level-exclusive outfit and tackle this level by only restricting yourself to the shuriken and katana. Freedom Fighters, Hitman 2016. This level is perhaps one of the most divisive levels of the first game, but we have grown to love this one despite its differences. Set in a huge military training ground in Colorado, this level consists entirely of restricted areas, meaning you have to start sneaking the instant you land here. That alone can add a lot of tension to your every move, and with so many enforcer enemies scattered across the compound, you need to be quick and careful with your moves to take down all enemies without raising any alarms. One of the most notable opportunities here is disguising yourself as a prisoner before a torture session, and attacking the target when he has his back towards you. You also can cause remote explosions or lure some of the targets to a secluded spot for an easy kill. All in all, there's no shortage of ways to go about dispatching these targets in style. While it's undoubtedly one of the hardest levels in the game, it certainly has its distinct charm that will grow on you with repeat playthroughs. Apex Predator, Hitman 3. Apex Predator is yet another one of the hardest levels to beat in Hitman, and that boils down to two reasons. You have to take down multiple unmarked targets in the location, and there are no discrete mission stories that guide towards iconic assassinations. As such, you need to use everything that you've learned up until this point and dynamically alter your approach for the situation at hand and complete the level without raising any alarms. The first playthrough is certainly going to be the most difficult, and once you've unlocked additional entry points for this level, you will have some leeway to come up with more efficient ways to complete this one hell of a mission. Club 27, Hitman 2016. This level takes Agent 47 to a lavish hotel in Bangkok and tasks you with eliminating two targets, one of which is a roamer type while the other is holed up in the highly restricted upper floors. The hotel itself is spread across multiple floors, and most of the disguises will allow you to explore them and be restricted from accessing others. As such, you need to think creatively if you want to dispatch your target without making any noise. This level is home to some flavorful executions, including, but not limited to, Agent 47 impersonating a drummer to enter the band's quarters, which contains one of their targets. The Last Resort, Hitman 2. Speaking of royal retreats, we have The Last Resort from Hitman 2, which takes players to Haven Island in the Maldives. The level itself is vast, with two distinct areas in the form of a private villa and a beachside resort, and exploring these areas in a thorough fashion will help you obtain some key items for the best assassinations in the level. You could cause an unlikely accident for one of your targets doing water sports, return a stolen USB drive to the target to get up close and personal with them, or chart your own way to do the deed. Taking down 3 targets can make this level a bit lengthy on repeat playthroughs, but it's still pretty enjoyable nevertheless. Hey, did you know that we at Gaming Bolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.